Oh Lord, pull up in that '04, pedal to the metal, says she wanna hit the flow more.
So, hopefully, by the time you watch this video, Atlanta Braves officials will have come to their senses and listen to me. Listen to what I told them to do more than a week ago. Okay? And that is call the Chicago Cubs. Go back to the future. Get Craig Kimbrel. Oh, and get Kris Bryant, period. That is if the Atlanta Braves are really sincere about saying they are buyers instead of sellers, trying to get back into this National League playoff picture. Now, before I continue, all right, if you want the best coverage ever or anywhere on the face of the earth on Atlanta sports teams, click subscribe right now. Atlanta Sports Unlimited. You will not be disappointed. Speaking of being disappointed, have you been seeing the Braves this season? I mean, they're one of only, 3 major league teams this season that has not had a winning record at any point in the season. All right, they've been extremely mediocre. A lot of reasons for that, okay? But nothing is bigger than the fact that their bullpen has been a disaster. Matter of fact, they don't have a bullpen. There is not a team in Major League Baseball that has blown more leads in the 7th inning or beyond than the Atlanta Braves, along the way to losses. And I just think of somebody like an A.J. Minter. A.J. Minter reminds me of, when you have those family reunions and you got put somebody out there to pitch, so they're trying to throw it to like Grandpa and Uncle Charlie so they don't be embarrassed out there. I mean, that's not only A.J. Minter, that's a whole bunch of these relievers. Craig Kimbrel can solve that. Remember Craig Kimbrel? Craig Kimbrel started out with the Braves, All-Star. Okay, he's an 8-time All-Star. He's like 33. He left the Braves after the 2014 season, ended up in San Diego, and then Boston, and just had some rough times in there, okay? But with the Cubs, he's had a rebound year, which is perfect for everybody else that are buyers, because the Cubs are sellers right now. They're trying to get rid of people, all right? But Craig Kimbrel right now, his ERA is 0 point something. You don't need to know the rest of it, because once you get to 0 point something, you want that guy, okay? And that's exactly the guy that the Braves need. He's available. The Cubs are having this fire sale out there, all right? Other problem for the Atlanta Braves. Injuries galore, all right? None top losing Ronald Acuna. I mean, he's their star player. He's one of the biggest stars in Major League Baseball. Out with that ACL, all right? So, so they need help there. They need help in the other parts of the outfield, too. I mean, Marcell Ozuna. I mean, he went nuts the other day with the domestic dispute. He's been suspended. He's not coming back. So they need an outfielder. Kris Bryant can help them. Kris Bryant, he can play third base, first base, outfield. He can play anywhere, okay? He's only 29. Yeah, he had a bad season last year, but he's rebounded. He's got power. Very good in the middle of that lineup. This is the same Kris Bryant who back in 2016, when the Cubs won the World Series for the first time in more than 100 years, he was the most valuable player in the National League back then. He's kind of trending back in that direction again. Perfect for that spot. So they need to go out there and get him. Now, and I mentioned all this last week on Sports Zone Sunday. That's WSB Channel 2. Every Sunday here in Atlanta, Georgia, 11:35. I come on and I talk about Atlanta sports, okay? And Atlanta sports officials, Braves officials, they watch that show. Just like they watch this video. Hey, so that's what I'm telling you. Get these guys now if you want to put on the push. Think about this. Coming out of the All-Star break, Braves, 17 straight games they had, okay? Against 4 of the top teams in Major League Baseball. San Diego Padres, the Tampa Bay Rays, Milwaukee Brewers, the Mets. We're going to get to that in a minute. Okay, but coming out of the All-Star break this last weekend, they opened up here in Atlanta against Tampa Bay, and it was not pretty. All right, Braves blew them out on Saturday night, but that Friday game and the Sunday game, the bullpen collapsed. They need Craig Kimbrel. They need Craig Kimbrel to keep them alive, to keep them from blowing games all the way through, but really up into that end of that 17th game stretch where they're playing 17 in a row, because the last 4 games of that stretch will be at New York against the Mets. The same Mets that they're chasing. The same Mets that are very vulnerable right now. They got issues. Jacob deGrom, the best pitcher for the Mets and the best pitcher in the National League, maybe the best pitcher in baseball. I mean, he's on the injury list right now. He might be back by then, but who knows what kind of shape he's going to be in. Francisco Lindor, he was their big offseason pickup for the Mets. Okay, not have the best of years, but he can turn around at any point. He's going to be back at some point. They're getting healthier in other respects. I'm going to get to that in a minute. I'm going to keep pushing off the Mets because I'm trying to get to something. In the meantime, what the Braves need to do is to stay in games with the bullpen. We're back to Craig Kimbrel. Because once they get to that 4-game stretch, those last 4 games in New York, that's right before the trade deadline. The trade deadline is July 30th. The last game of those 4 games in New York is July 29th, okay? So they got to get Craig Kimbrel before somebody else says, well, hey, we could use this guy for our bullpen. And then the other guy, Kris Bryant, I mean, you got a lot of guys trying to get him too. As a matter of fact, one of the leading contenders to try to get Kris Bryant, hey, this is why the Braves got to get him before anybody else. One of the leading contenders are the Mets.
This is my falsetto, wicked potion with the slow pour. This is my addiction, make me wanna go for more. Pale